Hello everybody, welcome to our webinar. My name is Mike and I'll be your teacher for tonight. So just a quick thing, today we're going to be talking about what's new in 3ds Max 2026. Obviously the opinions are divided, but for me it's an actually really nice update because it brings a couple of things that I found to be actually useful. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about it from a standpoint of a person that uses 3ds Max mainly for ArcViz and product visualization. So I'm going to be focusing on those features mostly, and we're going to see what's going on. And so Mohammed, I'm still using 3ds Max 2022. There's many reasons to use it really, because 2022 is the last version from what I've heard that you are able to purchase as a perpetual license. So if you're using it and it's perpetual, that's a huge amount of money saved. So I wouldn't really be surprised if that's the reason for it. Now, Shivam, big fan, thank you so much, and the fun icon, that's so cool. I just lost a client now. She didn't like the price and told me I will use AI instead. Well, that's something that is going to be happening from time to time, but this is this is the period where people need to cool down, because at this point everybody's going to have a Gibby photo. So they definitely think that they can pull it off. And sometimes, depending on the standard, well, actually AI is enough. And now let's get into it. So we're going to be actually following the regular 3ds Max update version. So what's new in 3ds Max? And this is going to be something that I would like to point out, that not all of the updates are going to be meaningful for us. At the moment, Chaos still hasn't updated Corona, so I'm not going to be testing one of the OSL maps, and we're probably going to just go through the basics and the parts that are important for us 3D artists, ArcViz related. Just to remind you, my name is Mike and I'm a teacher for Vizacademy. If you want to create photorealistic visualizations just like our students, go to our Instagram and you can check out what our students are creating, because that's pretty much the easiest and bestest way of checking that out. For example, we've got a Young's image that we were fighting with for a while. Why am I saying fighting? Because Young was starting from a total beginner level, and not to insult or downplay any of his achievements, we went through this image a couple of times with many iterations. I wish I could show you the first versions where basic elements weren't yet solved, but now it's just purely photorealistic, and I'm really proud of Young. Young is now looking for a job, so that's again something amazing. I was about to show you one more image that our student literally showed me today, but it has some personal info there and I haven't had time to Photoshop out those details, but that was something along the lines, hey Mike, my clients now love what I'm doing, and that's amazing for me. Also, check out this work from Ellen. This is literally from the cohort or the group before the one that we have right now. Currently we're at the stage where the first interiors are being delivered, and you can see all of that. Now, without any further ado, let's just jump into 3ds Max, because now you know who I am, you know what we do. If you want to learn more about our school, visit Vizacademy Co UK, that's the website. And now let's get into the video. So the big thing for me that I was excited about from all of the updates were actually the improvements of speed. And as far as I would like to say that they're amazing, and there's a lot of them, let's just read through the notes, because I would like to focus on, well, let's say, tell you all about them, but mostly focus on those that I found to be useful. So default material OpenPBR, that's something that's going to be relevant for us in Corona in a couple of years, or let's say a year, because they will be upgrading. So what does it entail? It's just a new default standard material. Remember, we had standard, then we had physical material, now we have physical PBR, open PBR material. Why is it a big thing? Because it's going to be a standardized material that's physically based render, so it's going to be using roughness, diffuse maps, all of that, but in a standardized way. So all other software is already doing it in their own way, where they standardize this the same way, but you get the point. I meant in video, motion, and animation, Blender is still better somehow. Good day. We are waiting when 3ds Max will beat Blender in product visualization. No, sorry, but product visualization belongs to 3ds Max. Maybe you've seen more images, lower quality, or, well, there's, to be honest, Blender has a broader population of users, and that's a fact. But at the same time, I wouldn't be so concerned about, well, the quality delivered by Blender users at the moment. There are some amazing users, there are some amazing companies. I'm not saying that Blender is bad. Quite contrary, it's amazing. But at the moment, it's not yet there, not fully there. So for product visualization, still 3ds Max is the leader. Although I'm not saying that Blender is bad, I'm just saying that it's just not quite yet there. So as for the open PBR material, this is going to be amazing for everybody who uses multiple platforms, Maya, even Blender, because that's going to standardize the workflow. So pretty much, regardless of what style of rendering you're going to be picking, this is going to be something that you will be able to use. Now, hey Aaron, how are you? Now, the next thing that I think is worth mentioning is Vertex welding. And that one is really going to be cool, because a lot of times when you're this is not a good example really for me, because a lot of times when you're going to be importing CAD files, you're going to be seeing some openings, some imperfections. So adding the vertex weld without converting the object into mesh is really cool. And I tested it in my 3ds Max. So I tested a couple of features, but that's not one of the features. I'm just opening 3ds Max 25 now, and also 26 at the same time. We're going to see how long it's going to take for both to open. Okay, so 26 is going to tell us, head up, we changed the standard material, and you can use a script to quickly change that. And what we're going to see is, although I clicked 3ds Max 2025 a little bit earlier, we're probably going to see 3ds Max 26 open up even faster. Well, that's just one of those quality of life improvements from what I've heard, but I'm opening them at the same time, just looking at the file, and we're going to see which one is going to be useful to me first. So here's okay, so 3ds Max 2025 is up, 2026 is up as well. All of those pop-ups are due to my plugins that I have globally installed on my computer, so that's not 3ds Max's fault. It's a very standard 3ds Max version. You can see that everything is really working the way it was, but there are those features that I'm really going to be excited about. So as I said, we're going to have the CAD files that we will be able to use. Hey, thank you for the 100, betting 1,000, I guess, and a lot of hearts. So nice of you. By the way, guys, tell me a little bit more about yourselves, because I would like to hear who am I, well, let's say, who my host for, who is joining us. It's just to have a little bit of a chat. Now, you can see this basic line where there's nothing extra about it. But if we're going to activate the option for the renderability in our viewport, which I'm going to go for with some preposterous values, now we can go for vertex weld, and usually what this entailed was that we're going to not have this ability. Why? Because in 3ds Max, if we did exactly the same thing, okay, now let's go for another line here. Hey, hey Ilias, how are you? How's the render going? Now, Ilias is one of my students, so it's nice to see you, really. Now, this is the same thing. We're going to go for 2025 and vertex weld is looking a little bit different. We don't have the indicator how many vertices we have. That's again a quality of life improvement for me, because I kind of like those stats. Now, what's going to happen here is, well, surprised me, because I wasn't even aware that I want that feature. And this is one of those, hey Ricardo, how are you? And this is one of those things that I definitely want to keep in mind, that now it's a teeny bit better in 3ds Max 2025 and 26. So I will say that, well, it's not disappointing. It's something that will really help us with ArcViz, because again, if you're going to be loading a lot of CAD data and you need to clean it up, this is definitely going to be very helpful. So wait a second. Okay, so it's in this case going to be helpful with AutoCAD files. So again, I'm going to say it's good. So return to stack position. This one, I wasn't sure if I need this, because, well, not always I needed this kind of feature. But this video kind of helps me understand what it is, and I'm going to show you a little bit better. In regular 3ds Max, when we have multiple modifiers, we're going to be a bit, let's say, disappointed, because if I wanted to just work with this one, each time when I deselect and select this object again, I cannot go back to one of the 50 modifiers, and that really stopped me from creating longer lists of modifiers, because then you have to look through it and it's not really ideal. So now in this version, what we can do, and by default it's going to be activated, is the preserve stack position. So any projects that you're working on, Ricardo, Ilias, started new interior? Now let's go for bend here, and let's just add array modifier, because that's another improved thing in 3ds Max. So you can see here that it works, right? But now let's copy it, and let's just assume that I'm going to be adjusting this object's position. Let's say I need to do something with array here, and I want to go to bend again here, because I'm changing something about this modifier. So if I'm going to be deselecting, you can see that I am back to bend. Honestly, this is not the biggest, again, it's not the biggest update, but it just improves the quality of life. I would like to see some shortcut for this, because I don't always want to have this on, and I haven't yet found it, because preserve is okay, am I really that bad with spelling or what? You know, so yeah, I'm not that bad with spelling, it's just that it's not allowing me. Funny. With object selected, I can just now go for preserve. This is not the modifiers list preserve, it's just a modifier called preserve, which I honestly haven't used ever. So this is kind of okay. I mean, this is cool. This helps. It speeds up the workflow. You're going to be able to go back to where you left the object, and if you don't want it, you can just turn it off, and at that point you're going to be back at the top. Really cool, really cool. Just finishing the current render and then starting another. Perfect. Hi, yes, I'm working on an apartment building with a pool and paddle court, a real estate launch. Thank you, everything you taught me. Nice. It's all you guys, really, because I wouldn't be. Our training is possible thanks to you guys, and not thanks to me. That's the opposite, right? So I will just say thank you for joining, and I'm glad that you persevered, because our training is a little bit demanding, I would say, as some would say. Now, return to stack position. Those three are cool. Now, create panel object search. That's another cool thing where I would say I kind of missed this part where, well, no, I kind of didn't know again that I needed this, but I just recently had this kind of problem where I forgot where the wind is, and I was creating cloth simulation, and during a live stream for my students I was like, where was it, but I knew that I want wind, right? So all I need to do now is type in wind, and it's going to find it here exactly with all of the selections, and it's going to lead me where that feature is. That's cool. It's not going to do the same if I'm going to type it here, because, well, it does take me to the point, but is it going to be that big of a change for me? I would say not really, but looking for the objects, once your brain is focused on looking for something, it's actually better, because typically if we're already here and you cannot find something, it's going to be easier to type it in than pressing X and looking for let's say gravity and then picking it here, because you're going to have multiple options here that's not going to be from creation panel, and you cannot necessarily do much to filter this that much. So we're definitely going to go for well, I'm going to say that I like this. I just like this new update. It's another small thing, but it's cool. So far we can summarize this as incremental improvements with some additional stability added. Kind of fun. Now, I like my 3ds Max to be a little bit more stable. By the way, guys, have you seen this? Okay, this one. Do you know how to do this? I know. Do you want to learn how to do it? Because it's super cool looking and it's extremely simple to do, like extremely simple. So let me know if you want to know how to do it. Anyway, the improvements in performance. Honestly, I haven't noticed that it's that much. Boolean operations are now up to 40% faster. Up to 40% faster, it's like your internet provider telling you you're going to have up to 10 gigabytes of internet. You're never going to reach that, ever. You're going to be around half of that value, maybe sometimes a little bit higher, but typically lower. But up to. So what I checked on my own computer with my own resources is that, well, there is a little bit of improvement, honestly, and yeah, we're going to open this in 3ds Max 2025, and we're also going to open this in 3ds Max 2026. So, okay, and because it's literally my first time opening 3ds Max and 2026, not overall, it's just going to take a bit longer to open here because I need to find the directory that I didn't copy because I'm a dum-dum. Now, 1 second, almost there, and I've got it. Now let's open this up. So the scene load time is improved. You can see that this thing is looking okay, but the scene load time is a little bit better in 3ds Max 2026. That's another improvement. It's one of those things that you're never ever going to see how it works and how it's built, but well, we're going to have that going on. Okay, because I don't have all of the options or elements installed like Corona yet, this is going to pop up at the moment. So I'm just going to close it, and that's fair enough, right? So this is not the fault of 3ds Max. It's just that the developers of other software, Chaos, haven't had time to upload the newer version. So this funny fella was supposed to be my bust. It's a very, let's say, old version of it. So what it has is 2 million polygons, right? So that's one of the things that I wanted to show, but I wanted to also show you this. So let's see how many frames I'm going to get per second when playing this in 3ds Max 2026. So up to, hey Mike, when is the next video coming up, 0 to Hero? Probably a week or two. Probably a week or two, yeah. Depending on which video we're going to be making, it's going to be, that's what we're going to be deciding on. Okay, so the scene performance is around 10 to 14 10 to 14 frames per second. Okay, so that's something. Let's delete this guy. Let's unhide all. And here we've got the same thing. Let's hide it. And pretty much with the same camera angle. Let's see how many frames we're going to be getting here. So this is not scientifically accurate because the viewports are a little bit different, but from what I can see, I am getting a higher amount of frames, but it's more laggy. So I'm getting a little bit of spikes in here. So definitely 3ds Max 2026 is a little bit more stable. So again, it's just faster. So the reason why I've loaded this file is to talk about the next cool thing in 3ds Max. This thing is really simple to do. So OSL maps, those OSL maps are again going to be incremental change. It's just another good map to use. Animation updates, this is not something that I am going to be comfortable talking about. It's okay, an update, but the improvement of the cat biped, yeah, okay, cool. Now create a rectangle with 3 points. Okay, that I would say okay, but come on, it's not something that anybody is going to be using at any time soon. So rectangle, we can now select 3-pointer, and it's just this. You create this, and you've got a little bit better way of creating your rectangle, because instead of the regular one where you do this one edge at a time, now you're going to be able to select the rectangle, go to 3-point, go for one line, and then make it grow. I would say that it just takes 2 more clicks. I mean 1 more click to create your object. Okay, nice, fun. I would say it doesn't hurt, but was it something I would be putting as a feature? Okay, that's something, I guess. Now, retopology. In the videos that are outside, or let's say on the internet, the topology comparison by some of the videos that I've seen was supposed to be huge difference, mega changes, but I checked it on my own file, and here this retopology that you see here, right, was set from almost 2 million polygons, sorry, 3 million polygons to 100,000, and it took exactly 190 seconds to compute. So it was something, right? So this is not the computation, this is just me using this modifier, and it looks okay. So it has decent results, nothing out of the ordinary. So the algorithm is basically the same, but here is the previous version, exactly the same settings, same conditions, and the file took 10 seconds longer. So for me, it's 5% improvement, and I would say that the videos that we see online aren't really showing what the reality is. So it's one of those things that you would say up to, but at 2, it's like, okay, fine. Now USD for 3ds Max 01. So what that means, this number, is that it's still in a super early stage. It's not yet out. It's not yet established. So I'm not going to even mention it. USD is universal scene description. In the long run, it's designed towards allowing multiple or bigger companies to exchange files without between 3ds Max user, Maya users, and possibly Blender users. But USD is an Autodesk, let's say, initiative. So from what I can see, the industry isn't that keen on that, and I would say that it's one of those things where you probably will get into USD over time, and then it's going to be subscription model to use it. I bet you this is going to happen, and they then will call it platform, USD platform. So I wouldn't, that one thing, I am sure it's going to have some sort of subscription model. So Arnold was updated, and it has a little bit better caustics and a little bit better rendering. I don't use Arnold myself, but I would say that it's nice to see that they're still working on it. Arnold is good because you can exchange the files really easily between different software. So that's it. But again, we've got update to Substance, and Substance again is separate software from Adobe. And honestly, I think that this is going to be something that I would like to mention, that well, Substance on its own is very powerful, but it costs money, and $60 a month. Okay, fine. Let's say that you're going to want to use it, but I don't. What you want to use is the Adobe Substance 3D community assets, where you're going to find a lot of materials and objects for free. And to use them, you're going to be able to pretty much go, hey, Ghazi, now, are going to be able to use all of those in 3ds Max. So how to use the Substance in 3ds Max and Corona? Because there's no Corona for 2026, and the update is incremental because now the newer version of 3ds Max works with newer version of Substance. Okay, that's something expected, I would say. But we can actually use the Substance and Substance 2 object to work with our material. So if you go for Corona material, you can actually go for another step and look for Substance. So here we've got Substance and Substance 2. This is just 3ds Max, sorry, Autodesk just being Autodesk, because what's the difference between them? Substance regular material, it seems to be the better coordinated or crafted material for me, but from what I heard, this is the newer version because it has a little bit more presets. So that's again going to be up to us to check that out. But again, if we use the Substance, we can now load the material and literally just use this in 3ds Max. So normal is the bump, we're going to have to use that as well. But long story short, it's actually cool because metallic is here, we've got the height, so the displacement, all of that is going to be neatly translated to our material. And most of those materials are going to be randomized, so you can actually bet that it's going to look good. So opacity, let's go for opacity color, whatever that means for us. Specular level, we're not using specular at all. Ambient occlusion, we're not adding that, we're not game designers, and this is going to mean that we can apply this material, and let's see if it maps correctly onto my object. By default, that was retopologized. Now the googly eyes, don't mention that. Now let's see what we've got in here. Okay, just silence my phone because for some reason it wasn't on a silent. Now let's, hey Natalie, how are you? Nice to see you. No update for hair system in 3ds Max, which is very old and useless. Yeah, that's what that's what I said in one of my comments under one of the other YouTubers, because I now call myself a YouTuber for some reason, in other creators feed. I've left the comment that I wish they would do something about it because it's obviously not yet updated. So let's see how that turns out. So okay, it's green, so will it need some UVW mapping? UVW map. Yeah, it needs mapping, boxy mapping, but it actually looks awesome. So honestly, the materials are cool. I again would like to recommend you using it because Substance is cool. Why not? And if it's in newest 3ds Max, if it's going to be even better, why not? With full randomization on this map, it will look really nice. Just the googly eyes are product of opacity, I guess, and that's going to be it. So to sum it up, 3ds Max update is very incremental. There's not a lot of stuff that you're going to see as absolute bangers. So there are some silent updates. For the most silent update for me is the GLTF format. So GLTF format is something that you're going to really find in Blender community, and people from that community will be really using it a lot. So let's go for here, resources, let's open that. and let me just unpack the file that I downloaded. So the previous 3ds Max and its attempts were a little bit futile when you were trying to open GLTF files. So here, let's just quickly see if we can import a file like this, because does it read GLTF? From what I remember, there was an option to open them, but with some kind of hoops and loops. So, okay. Nope, we cannot open it. But in newer 3ds Max, which is 3ds Max 2026, let's import that. Still not opening them. So, okay, we cannot import them really easily. Okay, so what's the point? We can export those files that way, but I want to import them. I want to use them in my scenes. So very cool. GLTF, okay, there's the file to export, but now I want to import that same file. Import. Probably working on that. Okay, fine. So we can just export GLTFs. I mean, whoever uses them in 3ds Max. I was supposed to show you that this thing can be imported into 3ds Max now, and we can retopologize it very fast, but in the end, we're not going to, because yeah, well, 3ds Max, I guess. That's one way to put it. If you have any idea how we could bypass that, it would be a good moment to tell me, because maybe I'm too dumb, and that can be the thing. Because let's see if I can just copy it here. Maybe next time. Probably it's coming our way with the how's it called, service pack 1. Service packs are such a legacy objects. I mean, they sound like Windows XP for me. Okay guys, so I think we went through most of the features. As I said, there are those silent updates where you're not really going to see a lot. Like, let's say Python update. This is not something you're going to be using. OpenAXR, fine. OpenImageIO. That Clove was updated, but what does it mean? It will probably maybe give you some updates because they fixed something, but I don't see anything exactly fixed. So cool. Hey Piero, how are you? So now I think the version net 8, okay, hotkey editor, enhancements, studio evaluation. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. I mean, is it worth updating? For my standpoint, I would say I'm going to wait at least 2 or 3 months before I even think about it, because 3ds Max 2025 for me is only 5% slower in some cases. It's as stable as 2026, but at the same time, I haven't had a chance to work with it yet for a longer period. All of those updates are quality life improvements, but will they really be my reason to update, other than just the industry forcing me to, because now the older files are not going to be opening in my 3ds Max? I doubt it. That's going to be probably the only reason to do it, at least at the moment. As soon as Corona updates, as soon as V-Ray updates, as soon as everybody else updates, I will go with it. But at the moment, I would say a little bit of a pass, but at the same time, it's not bad. This should be a service pack. This should be like a small update for the previous version, because nothing groundbreaking happened. But everything that they added is actually making the software better. Okay guys, I've got nothing else to say. This is it for today. Next week we're going to probably have another review for portfolios, or we're going to do from zero to hero. But I want to do something different this time. Maybe we're going to do a product shot. So I'm going to make a couple of polls on our members channel, so everybody will be able to tell me what topic they're interested in. As always, we're going to have that webinar split in 2 parts, where we're going to be talking about the basics and a little bit more advanced version for our members. Now, meanwhile, since since I still have your attention, remember guys that to sign up to Vizacademy, all you need to do is go to Vizacademy Co. UK, click on available dates and choose the date that is currently available, apply, sign up with your email and get started, because that way you're going to be able to proceed with our you're going to be able to proceed with enrollment. The full course entails full support 7 days a week. We also will have 3 webinars per week, and on top of that you're going to get approximately 40 hours of different recordings that you're going to be able to keep for eternity. Now the price is £2,500, but that's going to change quite soon for the next group, because at that time we're going to probably have a separate recorded segment for the animation, and it's no longer going to be just a bonus. Sorry for that. And now so to sum up the question, am I going to use 26 3ds Max? Not for at least 2 months, but eventually I will update, because 5% is not a lot, but it's still something. And if I can get the 5% for at the cost of a couple of minutes to install the software, I'll take it, because why not? 5% is 5%. It's something that you can actually calculate. If you're going to be working 40 hours a week and you can be faster 5%, that's like an hour. So more Facebook for me. This is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for your attention. We're going to see each other in a couple of days. Next Thursday. Also, I'm going to see my amazing students a little bit sooner, because tomorrow we have our final day for interiors. And just to quickly show you a small snippet, where are those files? Wait a second, Shift J. Where did I download them anyway? So those are the files, some of the files that my students created that we were talking about. So this is by Carmen. Amazing work. We still need to work a little bit on the bloom and glare, just small touch-ups, but you can see that without any Photoshop, it's already amazing. This is work by Adrian, but we're still going to be giving it a small touch-up in Photoshop, as with everything. So this is, hey Nicoletta, hey, that's another amazing student of mine. Maybe I actually have her work here. Andre, or Ajawi to be exact, and now we can see that we have a little bit of walkthrough in his work, because we had multiple levels of it, but in the end we settled on this, and I must say that, and then again, Ajawi, great job. We've got work by Ilias, so this is another thing that I'm going to say. We work with multiple different references, so we're going to be able to create, oh, I forgot about this one, Roberta, that's just so good. Zero Photoshop, we're still going to make it even slightly better. Now, I would like to find Nicoletta's work, because that's one of those images. Before I go, let me just visit our group, because that's worth it. So, okay, it's really worth it. Let's see. So the funny part is that this is not even the final form of this image. Okay, so let's refer to page. Sorry. And we've got this image. Oh no, that's not the version. This is the version. So this is still not the final version. We're still updating it, but Nicoletta is absolutely amazing. From scratch, from absolute beginner level, and we can actually see something so amazing. This is just a preview, and to be exact, Nicoletta said that her level of 3ds Max proficiency was 1 out of 5. She could have said 0, but she chose a little bit higher number. So again, Nicoletta and Ilias, Ajawi, Roberta, really amazing work. I'm going to say it publicly, and I'm going to be posting your work soon on our Instagram. So thank you so much for your attention, guys. This is it for today. If you could do me a favor after we're finished with our webinar, if you could leave a comment, that would mean the world to me, because it helps us boost the algorithm. Like, subscribe, and remember to like and subscribe. So thank you so much, and see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.